Hello everyone, our today's topic is about sentence structure. Sentence types I'm going to speak about. First of all, I would like to mention that I haven't included into my slides, but in this point I would like to touch upon the general classification of sentences. Classification of sentences is carried out into two ways. One of them is according to the purpose of utterance. According to this classification, sentences are divided into four main groups. One of them is declarative sentence. Declarative sentence is a type of sentences which is used to express statement, and this type of sentences is said with falling intonation, with falling tone in our speech. The second one is interrogative sentences, and these sentences are used to express questions. As its name implies, we used to get any answer in these types of sentences. And these types of sentences are said with various intonation because these type of sentences are divided into four main groups according to their own classification. So I think there is no need to speak about it. So the third one is imperative sentences. These sentences are used to express commands, orders, or requests. The next one is the last one is exclamatory sentences, and this type of sentences is used to express our feelings, emotions, etc. So the next classification that I'm going to speak about is according to the syntactical structure of sentences. This classification is like that. Sentence types that I'm going to speak about are simple. The second one is compound, the third one is complex, and the last one is compound complex. That I'm going to speak about this classification, and in this point I would like to mention that the main parts, the basic elements, here I have written, the basic elements of every sentences are subject and predicate that play a great important role in differentiating the types of sentences. So here the first one is subject, as I said, and the next one is predicate. These are parts of sentences, and these are the principal parts of sentence. As you know, the parts of sentences are classified into two main groups. The first one is principal one, the second one is secondary parts of sentences. And as you see, and as I mentioned, subject and predicate are considered to be principal parts of sentence, and the secondary parts of sentences are object, attribute, and adverbial modifiers. So basic elements, as I said, subject and predicate. I have a simple example for it. Mary plays tennis. In this sentence, as you see, the subject is Mary and the predicate is plays, and in the sentence subject is expressed by a noun, a proper noun, and predicate is expressed by a verb. So what is simple sentence? Okay, a simple sentence has just one subject and one predicate. Now let's observe how a simple sentence is constructed. For example, we went to London yesterday. In this sentence, let's look at how this simple sentence is constructed. In this sentence, we went to London. We is a pronoun which plays a subject function in a sentence. This is simple subject, and here we have a complete predicate. Why? Because our predicate is expressed by verb and prepositional phrase. Actually, when we analyze our sentences from syntactical point of view, here we have just one predicate and one prepositional phrase which is used in order to play adverbial modifier of place syntactical function. In this sentence, it's the same situation. So, But but it doesn't mean that in simple sentences we may have just only one subject and one predicate. We may have two subjects, or we may have two predicates. But in this situation, our subjects or predicates should be linked by means of and conjunction. For example, Tom and Mary play tennis. In this sentence, this is simple sentence, but we have compound subject. Why? Because it's because that in our sentences we have just two subjects, and they are considered to be a compound subject, but it doesn't mean that our sentence can be considered to be compound or complex. So this is simple sentence, or vice versa. We may have, for example, simple subject, and we may have compound predicate. But as I said before, our compound predicate, parts of our compound predicate should be linked by means of and conjunction. And here in these sentences, we have both compound subject and compound predicate. So Tom and Mary play tennis and swim. In our sentences, we have compound subject, but we have a compound predicate, but it doesn't mean that our sentence is compound or something like that. So that's all for our simple sentence. Next slide is about compound sentence. What is compound sentence? Compound sentence has more than one part that can stand alone. What is that can stand alone? It means that these clauses are independent. We can use these independent clauses freely as in different situations, as in different sentences. I'm sorry. Independent clauses are connected by means of conjunctions. What kind of conjunctions? Of course, coordinating conjunctions and conjunctive adverbs or a semicolon. So in this point, I would like to give some information about coordinating conjunctions. I think in our next steps, I will have some information about coordinating conjunctions and subordinated conjunctions. But in this situation, I would like to give brief information. Conjunctions are classified into two main groups. One of them is coordinating conjunctions, and the second one is subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are used to link independent phrases or independent clauses. So that's why, if you pay attention to the definition of compound sentence, here I've written that compound sentence is a sentence with independent clauses, and these clauses are linked by means of coordinating conjunction. So in our next steps, I will give the list of coordinating conjunctions. So just now, I have an example. So let's have a look at that. We went to London, and most of us danced all the night. In this sentence, we have two independent clauses. One of them is we went to London, and the next one is most of us danced all night. Here we have and conjunction, coordinated conjunction. As you see, these clauses are connected, are linked by means of coordinating conjunction and. Here we have one subject, one predicate in prepositional phrase, and the next one we have also subject, verb, and modifying phrase. Modifying phrase means adverbial modifier. For example, in this sentence, all night is adverbial modifier of time. Okay, so use of coordinating conjunction, as I mentioned before. So subject and predicate is used, and the first sentence and the next sentence, and these sentences are connected by means of and. So I have an example: Tom swims and Mary plays tennis. I have written very simple sentences in order you to comprehend this situation clearly. So yes, this is the slide that I'm going to speak about. I have touched upon it. So coordinating conjunctions are the followings: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These conjunctions are used to link parts of compound sentences. Okay, Tom swims and Mary plays tennis. It is the same example that I have analyzed and I have spoke about it. So the point that I would like to draw your attention is punctuation rule. If and connects independent clauses, not independent phrases, because if and connects independent phrases, in this situation we cannot use any comma, but in this sentence it connects independent clauses. In these situations, and can be preceded by comma. Here I have written comma before and in compound sentence. So conjunctive adverbs are moreover, however, otherwise, therefore. But I can extend this list. Simply, I have touched on the most common conjunctive adverbs in this slide. Here I have an example for it. Bob is handsome, moreover he is rich. And if you pay attention to the punctuation rules in this sentence, as you see, conjunctive adverbs can be preceded by semicolon and they can be followed by comma, as in this sentence. Now, here I have touched on this point. Now semicolon before conjunctive adverb and comma after conjunctive adverbs. Okay, now conjunctive adverbs can also be called floating adverbs. Why? It's because they can be positioned at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the sentences. There is no problem to use them in any situation, in any position. They may not have any problem in order to get its meaning in a sentence. For example, Bob is handsome, moreover he is rich. Bob is handsome, he is moreover rich. As you pay attention in this situation, when moreover is used in the middle of its sentence, here it is preceded and followed by comma. And Bob is handsome, he is rich. Moreover, when we use moreover at the end of sentences, moreover is preceded by a comma. So semicolons. When do we use semicolon? If the relation between the ideas expressed in the main clauses is very close and obvious without a conjunction, we can separate the clauses with a semicolon. So, for example, okay, Tom has benefited from his exercise program. He is slim and energetic. I think without any conjunction, we may not have any problem when we understand this sentence, the meaning of this sentence. That's why we can very easily use semicolon instead of any conjunction. So that's all for compound sentence. The next step is complex sentence. What is complex sentence? Complex sentence is a part of sentence with at least two parts. One of them should be independence clause, one that can stand alone, I have written, and another one that cannot. What is can stand alone and what is the one that cannot? It means that this part, one that can stand alone, should be independent clause, and the next one should be subordinating clause. Independent clause is a type of clause that can stand alone, and the next one depends on the first part. So the part that cannot stand alone is linked to the rest of the sentence by means of subordinating conjunction. I have spoke about the classification of conjunction in my previous slide. So subordinating conjunctions, as I said, and I think its name implies, and it's very clear from its name, the subordinating conjunctions are used to link independent clause and subordinating clause. So I have an example. Now let's have a look at it. Since we wanted to have fun, we went to London yesterday. Here, this one is independent. So I can easily use this sentence in alone. But this part is subordinating conjunction. I cannot use this sentence separately from this independent part. So since we wanted to have fun, we went to London yesterday. This sentence is also adverbial subordinated clause of adverbial modifier of cause. So subordinating conjunction I have used is since. So I think everything is clear for you now. Subordinating conjunctions, I have listed some, the most common subordinating conjunctions that we use in our speech, in our writings or something like that. But I can extend it very easily because there are numerous subordinating conjunctions in English. So the most common subordinating conjunctions are after, although, as, because, before, how, if, once, since, then, etc. So you see from our list very clearly. Okay, now I have one more example for subordinating conjunctions that I've written. Bob is popular even though he's ugly. If you paid attention, even though I haven't listed in my list in my previous slide, but it is also one of subordinating conjunctions that we use in our speech, in our daily life, as I said, in our speech and in our writing or so. Bob is popular even though he is ugly, and we can change the position of this sentence. For example, in our previous sentence, I said that he is popular Bob is ugly even though he is popular, or vice versa, no problem. So even though is used at the beginning of our dependent clause, I mean subordinated clause, and the next one is our independent sentence. The next one is the next type is compound complex sentence. What is compound complex sentence? This type of sentence has more than one part that can stand alone. Pay attention. More than one part that can stand alone. This is because that in order to make compound part of this sentence, we should have at least two independent parts that we can consider it compound part, and at least one that cannot stand alone, and it is subordinating conjunction. And this part is parts of clauses of compound part. Now conjunctions linked at different parts of this sentence. I think you will get this part, you will get this type of sentence with examples more clearly. So, for example, since we wanted to have fun, my boyfriend and I went to London yesterday and we danced all night. So, let's pay attention to this structure. Let's observe how component complex sentence is constructed. In this sentence, the first part is since we wanted to have fun. If you pay attention, we have used subordinating conjunction. It means that this part is complex. It means we have complex sentence here. And what is this part? And we dance all night. And it means that in this sentence, we have both complex part and compound part. That's why such kind of sentences are called compound complex sentence. It means in our sentences, we should have both compound part and composite part, composite sentences. So, in this sentence, I have explained it in my previous slide, but here I have analyzed this sentence very clearly. Subordinating conjunction, coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, link subordinating one with independent clause, and coordinating conjunction links independent clauses. That is why it means we have both complex and compound sentence. I think everything is clear for you. Here, Mike is popular because he is good looking. It means this part is complex one. Why? This is because this subordinating conjunction. And the next one, but he is not very happy. If you remember, I have listed but in coordinating conjunctions. So I think that's all for the classification of sentences. Now let's have a look at our exercises. I think the best way to get grammatical material or any syntactical material, no matter, is analyzing exercises, is the way of examples, I mean. So the first one, the bell rang, it's very simple example. So it is very clear from its structure. This is simple sentence. Why? Because we have just only one subject and one predicate. So this is simple. The next one, Bridget ran the first part of the race and Tara braked the second part. Here I have used and. This is coordinating conjunction, and that's why this sentence is considered to be an example for compound sentence. So let's look at our third example. He stands at the bottom of the cliff while the climber moves up the rock. Here, while I have used, while is used to link independent clause and dependent clause. So this is complex sentence, and this is, if you consider, if you try to analyze the type of subordinating clause, this is subordinating clause of adverbial modifier of time. It's because of while, because it expresses time. So the next one, the skier turned and jumped. In this sentence, we have one subject. We have compound predicate, which doesn't mean that this is an example for compound sentence. This is an example for simple. This is a type of simple sentence with one subject and compound predicate. So the last one in this slide, John passed the test because he studied hard and understood the material. This is complex sentence. Why? Because subordinated conjunction we have used in order to link independent clause and subordinating clause. Subordinating clause means dependent clause. So, but in this sentence you can ask me that, but in this sentence we have also used and coordinating conjunction. But if you pay attention to this structure, he studied hard and understood the material. Here, and connects independent phrases, not sentences. This is independent phrases. In fact, they are considered to be parts of compound predicate. This part is used with compound predicate. So that's why it is an example for complex sentence, not compound sentence. So I have one more slide with examples for our material. Here we have one more example. Because Kyla has so much climbing experience, we asked her to lead our group. In this sentence, because subordinating clause, subordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction I have used, that's why it is considered to be an example for complex sentence. The next one, you and I need piano lessons. This is simple sentence. As I spoke in this example, I said that here we have one subject and compound predicate, and in this part we have compound subject but with simple predicate. So no matter which compound parts of sentences we have used, it may be compound subject, or we may have compound predicate. No matter, this is an example for simple sentence. So the next one, I planned to go to the hockey game, but I couldn't get tickets. This is an example for compound sentence. Why? It's because the use of but coordinating conjunction in my example. The next one, Dorothy likes whitewater rafting, but she also enjoys kayaking. In this sentence, but, it is the same structure in my third example and fourth example. They have the same structure. So as you see, but is used in both sentences, and this is also an example for compound sentence. So this is our last example. There are many problems to solve before this program can be used, but engineers believe that they will be able to solve them soon. So as you see, in this sentence, we have, look, here in the first part of my sentence, I have used before, which is one of subordinating conjunctions that I have used in my sentence. This part is complex sentence, and the next part is simple compound sentence, sorry. Why? It's because but, you see, but because I said that is coordinating conjunction. So this sentence is compound complex sentence example. So I think that's all for our today's material. I think I could do something in order to explain this material for you. I think my material will be useful for you while analyzing types of sentences, types of classification of sentences. I hope you will benefit from my material. So thanks for your attention. See you our next lessons. See you.